Welcome to Mortal Realms issue 24, and most importantly, welcome Australia. So Australia joins the Mortal Realms imminently, as it's just been announced over there. So what have we got today? We have got Nighthaunt reinforcements. So we've got Grimghast Reapers, we've got a Lord Executioner, and we've got Glavewraith Stalkers. So in this issue comes with a whole host of Nighthaunt reinforcements with 5 Glavewraith Stalkers, 4 Grimghast Reapers, and a Lord Executioner to lead them all. Once you've built and painted them with this issue's guides, there'll be a terror on the tabletop in this issue's battle plan with Warscrolls and tutorials to help you use them. To fight back against the Nighthaunt horde, there's a full Warscroll for your castigators too. So it's not only the Nighthaunt who will have something new and powerful in the fight. Okay, so what have we got this week? We'll learn about our Lord Executioner and Grimghast Reapers. We'll look at Gayra and the Realm of Life. So that is our battle mat that we received. Build guides and paint guides. We'll look at the built models. Then we've got Warscrolls for the Lord Executioner and Grimghast Reapers and Castigators. And then we have got our battle plan. The Spectral Headsman. The Stormcast Eternals scour an abandoned ruin, only to be attacked by the Lord Executioner and his spectral followers. So the Lord Executioner. In the living world, there are many executioners tasked with ending the lives of the guilty, often by axe stroke or the end of a noose. Amongst these executioners are those that knowingly slay the innocent and claim that they are just doing their duty. These mortals are likely to attract the attention of Nagash. Lord Executioners are created from the souls of those that either took no care to ensure their victims were guilty or enjoyed their work far too much. And they are a cool model as well. There's a picture. We'll have a look at the plastic bit when we get to the build guide. The Lord Executioner is a spirit whose curse manifests itself in obvious and disturbing ways. He still carries the tools of his office and wears the same sombre hood that he did in life. Now, however, his former victims swirl around him, berating the Executioner and ensuring his eternal service is full of misery. Nice. Okay, so we've got the gallows there. We've got the hangman's noose, which is hanging down. Executioner's hood, which is what he's wearing. The decapitating great axe. Then we've got disembodied skulls berating him. And then we've got the ethereal mist. Okay, then we switch our attention to Grimghast Reapers. For which I believe we've already received some. Grimghast Reapers are formed from the souls of those who murdered their rivals without getting blood on their own hands. In death, they have been cursed to slay Nagash's enemies in the most brutal fashion, staining their hands red with blood. Okay. So we've got here some of them are named. The champions of the Grimghast Reapers are the extollers of Shyish. Once spiritual leaders who spoke out against Nagash, they now bear death knells. When these bells strike flesh, they can shake a mortal soul loose from its body. So we've got Tynak the Shepherd, and I'll show you him actually now. So that's him carrying the bell. Very nice. Tynak the Shepherd was once an outspoken priest of Sigmar. He told his followers to shun Nagash and dedicate their prayers to Sigmar. Nagash vowed to punish the priest. Upon Tynak's death, he was cursed to become an extoller of Shyish and must honour Nagash with the toll of his bell. Okay, then we've got Archistram. And we haven't got this model this week. Poison has always been the weapon of choice. Poison has always been the weapon of cowards. Thus it was for Archistram, who murdered no less than 5 members of his own family in pursuit of an inheritance he would never attain. The hangman's noose ended his life, and he was cursed to an eternity of bloody slaughter. Then we've got Mordir Ilthax. Mordred Ilthax was once an art collector who employed thieves, assassins and mercenaries to plunder from the most beautiful works from across Shyish. Sentenced by Nagash to an eternity of blind violence as a Grimghast Reaper, he yearns for treasures he can no longer appreciate. And we don't have that model either, it doesn't look like. But we'll look at all of the models that we did receive in just a moment. We may even have received these in a previous issue. Okay, Sanctified Shrouds. The Grimghast Reapers are blindfolded with Sanctified Shrouds. The holy power contained within these thin stripes of cloth utterly blocks out the Geist sense of sight. Most Nighthaunt spirits possess witch sight, which allows them to see magical auras and other spirits in the air around them. Then we look at Gyron. Gyron is the realm of life. While much of it has been corrupted by the vile followers of Nurgle, many mortals still make their homes there. Some of the greatest cities in all the realms are in the Jade Kingdom. Once home to the mortal tribes of all races, as well as the great seat of many civilizations. Okay. And it's got some of the different areas there. The peoples of Gyron. People of Gyron live their lives in concert with the natural order. Gyron is a realm of seasons, bountiful springs and summers, and are often followed by harsh winters. Many of the people who make their homes here are nomadic, particularly the elven wanderers, who live in harmony with the forests. Okay, so build guide. So let's look at our Lord Executioner first. Okay, so it is an impressive model. Very impressive. It's not actually connected by much to the base, to be honest. But it is very, very awesome. Then we'll look at our Glaive Wraith Stalkers. You've seen the likes of these before. Let's get 5 of these. Very nice. And then we've got our Grimghast Reaper. So there, the one with the bell we saw a second ago. And then we've got 3 more. Okay, and that's it. So that is our models for this week. So that's a lot of models for one issue. With at least one hero in there as well. Then we've got our paint guide. So standard fashion to where we are with the paints that we've got. Corax white undercoat, lilac oxide over the top, dry brush Corax white, Cantor blue on any fabric, corn red on the edges around the trim of their hooded cloaks, lead belcher on the metal bits, Dryad bark on the weapon shafts, Rakar flesh on the bony bits, and some of the rags and cloths. So that's it, and so it brings us to this sort of level at the end of that. Okay, so now we are on to Warscrolls. So I'll quickly bring you through the Lord Executioner. Movement of 6 and the saves on a 4-up. He's got a bravery of 10 with 5 wounds. Got 1-inch range with 3 attacks. This is Decapitating Great Axe. 3 ups to hit and wound. He's got rend -2, which is very cool. He does 1 damage. So not much of a powerhouse. So let's look at his abilities. So he's got Beheading Strike. In fact, for the abilities, let's look on the other side of here. If anyone hasn't seen these before, all of the abilities and that kind of thing are explained in detail on the back. So, Beheading Strike. When rolling wound rolls with the Lord Executioner's Decapitating Great Axe, any rolls of 6 change the damage characteristic of that weapon from 1 to 3. for that attack. Successful wound rolls of 4 and 5 do not change the damage characteristic of the weapon. These attacks only deal 1 damage, so that's good. So 3 wounds on a 6. Then we've got staring death in the face. At the start of each combat phase, you can pick an enemy hero within 3 inches of the Lord Executioner. The chosen enemy hero must subtract 1 from their to hit rolls in the combat phase, in this combat phase. So that's good. And then we've got disembodied skulls. Every time the Lord Executioner is allocated a mortal wound, roll a d6. On a roll of 5 up, the wound is negated and the Lord Executioner does not suffer any damage. Remember, this only applies to mortal wounds and cannot be used to negate any other type of wounds. Well, that's pretty cool. 5 up pass for mortal wounds, so that's good. Then we've got the Grimghast Reapers. So they've got 2 attacks. So we've got the Slasher Scythe, 2-inch range. They get 2 attacks, 4 up to hit, 3 up to wound, rend -1 with 1 damage. And then we've got the Death Knell. It's another 2-inch attack. Only 1 attack, but 3 up to hit and wound, rend -1 and 2 damage, which is pretty good. It's got in here the Extoller of Shyish. The leader of this unit is an Extoller of Shyish. An Extoller of Shyish is armed with Death Knell instead of a Slasher Scythe. So that's his there. And then the abilities, we have got so we've already been through the Extoller of Shyish and what he does. We've got Reet Like Corn. The ability shows, this ability shows the Grimghast Reapers to hit rolls for attacks. This ability allows the Grimghast Reapers to hit rolls for attacks made with their Slasher Scythes when a target has 5 or more models. Before rolling to hit for the Grimghast Reapers, count the models in the unit they are fighting. If there are 5 or more models in the unit, then the Grimghast Reapers may roll failed hits. Note, this ability only works with the Slasher Scythes and not the Death Knell. So basically, whatever unit they're trying to hit, if there's more than 5, they get to re-roll the fails on the Slasher Scythes. So that's a very good one. And then we've got For Whom the Bell Tolls. The Extoller of Shyish carries a Death Knell instead of a Slasher Scythe. When making attacks, resolve the hit rolls to wound rolls and saves with the Slasher Scythe separate from the Death Knell. Allocate wounds from the Slasher Scythes and the wounds from the Death Knell. For every model slain by wounds inflicted by the Death Knell, you can inflict 1 mortal wound on any enemy within 3 inches of the model armed with the Death Knell. So every time you kill something with the Death Knell, you can inflict a mortal wound on an enemy unit within 3 inches of the Extoller of Shyish. So brilliant. Okay, then we've got Castigators. So we've got 2 weapons. Thunderhead Greatbow, which is of a range of 18 inches. So it's only got 1 attack, but hits on 3 up and wounds on 3 up, rend -1 damage. And then we've got the Heavy Stock, which is the melee. With the 1-inch range, we've got 2 attacks, 4 ups to hit and wound, no rend and 1 damage. Castigator Prime, add 1 hit rolls for his attack with his Thunderhead Greatbow. Then let's have a look at the abilities. So yeah, so Castigator Prime, we already got that, so he gets a +1 for his hit rolls. Then we've got Burst of Celestial Energy. When attacking a unit with the Demon or Nighthaunt keyword, which is listed on the unit's Warscroll. So if we go back here, so you got keywords and Nighthaunt is one of them. With a Thunderhead Greatbow, this weapon has a chance of scoring more hits with each roll of a 6. For each hit roll of 6, roll a d3. The weapon scores this many hits instead of 1. You must then make a wound roll for each hit. Okay, so that's good. And then we've got Aetheric Channeling. The Castigators can use Aetheric Channeling to improve the accuracy or power of their weapons during the shooting phase. At the start of each shooting phase, you must choose whether to channel for accuracy or power. So if you choose accuracy, you get to re-roll hit rolls of 1. And if you use power, you get to choose to up your rend from -1 to -2. So that's very cool. Then we've got Spectral Headsman, which is our battle plan. Auric Ravenscar has proven a thorn in the side of the Nighthaunts. The Lord Executioner has been sent forth to put an end to the Night Questor once and for all. As Xandria and the rest of the Stormcast Eternals battle the Nighthaunt, the Lord Executioner hunts the Night Questor through the ruins. Okay, this has got some more fluff there. And again, as we have been previously, we set up Stormcast one side, Nighthaunt on the other. We've got no terrain yet. I say yet because very soon we've got something cool coming. And then so we've got the Prosecutor, 5 Castigators and the Night Questor up against everything that we received today. So that's cool. Glorious victory. So the game ends when one player has no models left on the battlefield. Nighthaunt player goes first. So that's it. And then our next 2 issues is tomorrow I'll be reviewing the next paint issue. So we've got Balthazar Gold and Agrex Earthshade, which is a little bit dull, but hopefully the magazine will be good. And what I'll do is I already own the terrain, which is coming with issue 26. I've got it nicely painted, so I'll show that in this issue. So, so when I review the paint issue tomorrow, I'll show you the terrain that we're going to be received the following week. So that's it. Pretty solid issue for me. I mean, 10 models is very cool. Lord Executioner is great. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I'm glad that we're building up our Warscrolls as well. So, I've been slow in editing and uploading my playthroughs and tutorials, but that lot is going to be coming very, very soon. It will be, I'll do a separate run for that. So I'll do an individual video for each issue. But I've got most of them already in the can, just need a bit of an edit, and then I'll be slowly uploading those very soon. So thank you for watching, guys. I'll be back to you tomorrow with issue 25. Catch you later.